Downsized, we had a lot of staff that time. So it really was a struggle for us, the owners, and for our employees also to keep them all. But I would say that most of our employees from the pre-pandemic are all back with us. So it's really a welcome relief that travel is back, tourism is back. We added 500 more rooms since before the pandemic. And we're going to open another new resort in Bohol.
Wow.
Before the end of the year.
Mayor Boy, if you're still here. Another one in Bohol, okay.
So would you like to know the 7 resorts in...
Yes, please, feel free to mention it.
Well, our first resort was, we call it before the Boracay Regency. It's now called Henan Regency. It's our first resort. We started 40 rooms way back in 1998. Then we opened the Henan Garden, then the Henan Lagoon, then Henan Prime Beach, then Henan Crystal Sands, Henan Palm Beach opened a month before the Boracay closure. Then during the pandemic, we opened Henan Park, that's the 7th resort. And then in Bohol, we have the Henan Alona Beach. And then also during the pandemic, we opened the Henan Tawala. And before the end of the year, we're going to open the Henan Premier Coast in Alona Beach also, in Bohol.
There's no stopping, but I have to admit something. Memorize ko lahat ng properties ninyo. I also do inbound travel, so I know it.
Have you stayed in all?
Not the new one.
Okay.
Before the lockdown happened, right before, I believe Sir Joey, Miss Marisa was there. We were in Boracay, Henan, diba? Doing a little celebration. And when we landed Manila, everything shut down. Okay, the reason I'm mentioning this is because I want you to share to them what's the secret of Henan. Because when travelers come in, foreigners po, okay, whether Chinese, Taiwanese, name it, you know, Thai people, Southeast Asians especially, when they come in, Boracay, Bohol, first choice goes to Henan. What is the secret sauce? And tell us a little bit of the story, how you guys started with this.
Well, it started from the 40-room hotel. The secret is, in any business, you always have to keep your customers or our guests happy. At the end of their stay, they have to be happy. We try to make sure of that. And well, I think majority would say that they were happy. If not, we do our best to be able to apologize if there's any mistakes, and try to have them back and make them happy the second time.
Okay, I'm gonna push you a little harder here. How do you make them happy? That's what I want them to hear. Certain points now. How, because even I can't even make my husband happy all the time. So please, just press it a little harder. When you say make them happy, is this through the cleanliness of the accommodation, affordability? Which one is it? What are the factors?
It's everything put together, but the most important is that they get value for money.
There we go.
Whatever you charge them, you have to make sure you give it the equal value or more, you give it back to them. So if they have value for money, because the tourists, they spend their hard-earned money for leisure. And you have to give them back value for money for them to be able to just keep on going back because they know they get their money's worth. For it's the accommodation, the design of the place, the cleanliness, everything. The service, the Filipino hospitality, that's world-renowned. All equates to value for money when they stay with us.
Wow, I think that's well said. Value for money. What they pay, they feel like they've gotten it back or even more. Well said. Okay, this next gentleman that I will introduce to you all should not even be, no need for introduction because all of us in the industry really know him. Okay? Not only was he the USEC, talagang champion siya. I remember when you guys had a maiden flight for New York. Andun siya. Championing it. Doon ko siya nakilala eh. Talagang pushing for it. And then when he posted on Facebook, na-retire na raw siya. Aalis na raw siya bilang USEC. No one believed. His heart really belonged to the industry, the tourism industry. His love for Philippines is really there. And true enough, ladies and gentlemen, he's still in the industry, tourism industry. Of course, I still call him USEC, Bong Benson forever. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Cha. Thank you for your kind words. And, thank
of
you for
course,
the invitation.
we know all the hard work you put in for the country and for tourism. Please tell us your honest observation. Total labas na rin kayo ng gobyerno. Okay? Meron ba dito? Honest observation. From the many years that you've experienced, what is it that we truly need? Because I'm so tired of being jealous of our neighboring countries. All the big numbers, 20 million incoming, you know, even Taiwan, even if they're a smaller country, the numbers of inbound travelers. What is it, sir? Don't worry. Wala na si Sir Joey dito. Joke lang, he's still there, he's still there. But yes, please share to us your observations. Coming from you, it would mean a lot.
I think it's important for us to focus on the fundamentals. Still on the fundamentals, the strategic infrastructure, making sure the movement is seamless, making sure that the entire customer journey is hassle-free. I'm sorry for giving a very vague answer because I'm sure there are still government officials here. But I think if I were to maybe just look at it prospectively, let me say that right now we're in a much better place. I think one thing going for the Philippines is this. The airlines play a very key role, and I have to mention this because as an archipelago, and I've mentioned this a million times, 99% of our tourists arrive by air, and we're very happy with the support of the airlines. We have very aggressive players in the entire value chain, accommodations, restaurants, tour operators, and travel agents such as yourself. And I think even the support of the government now for tourism as a whole is at a level that I think that brings us closer to competing, you know, more aggressively with our neighbors.
Okay, I love the answer. Safe but straight to the point.
There you go.
Marunong talaga si Yusek. Okay, now you also represent, or you're very much affiliated, of course, with hoteliers right now, all of these places. Totoo ba? Kulang ba talaga tayo ng accommodation? Because sometimes I hear that. You know, oh, you do not have enough to support a big MICE, or do we? But we're just not developing it, you know, to a certain standard. What is your opinion?
Now I can talk specifics.
Yes,
We did an inventory of the rooms in Boracay, in Cebu, in Bohol, and then we benchmarked them against Bali and the other resort destinations. The inventory is still very low. Okay, but it should not really be a cause for concern because I've always mentioned that you do not always compete on the basis of pricing. You know, actually what we should be doing, and I heard the word value for money earlier, maybe this is the angle that we should be looking at. But just the same, we need to bump up the number of rooms in the key gateways, Manila, Cebu, and Davao, as well as the emerging destinations. And I'm glad that they had the mayors of Panglao, you know, Siargao, with us earlier. I think what's important also is that we take note of the changing consumer preferences and behavior. And I'm sure everybody in this panel is well aware of that. So where's the market going? What will they be looking for? You know, people will be looking for a different kind of experience moving forward. People will be looking for organic and healthy options. And I'm glad that Sonia's Garden was one of the awardees earlier because that's the kind of product that people will be looking for. People will be looking for a low density but high value, culturally based, unique kind of an experience. And Cebu, Bohol, and other destinations are well positioned to get a bigger share of that market. Technology will also be very important. We're following the footsteps of the airlines. Many of our hotels now have self-in check-in kiosks. So you can do away with, you know, the front desk transaction and just go straight to the kiosk and you get your key, go straight to the room. So digitalization will also play a very important role for us in the hotel sector.
Thank you for that, laying it out to us, you know, piece by piece, making it very clear. We'll go back again to you, Yusek. This time around, I'm going to move on to another gentleman who's very known in the industry of entrepreneurship, or the world of entrepreneurship, rather. But here he is also with tourism. Of course, Sir Sammy Lim, welcome. I want to ask you, from what you are seeing, because I know you're seeing the landscape outside of the Philippines when it comes to tourism as well, I'll make this a very positive question. What are we doing right? Not wrong. What are we doing right? Maybe that's something that's worth knowing so we can continue to keep doing it based on what you see from other countries, other entrepreneurs that you've dealt with.
Well, I am glad that Go Negotiate is reaching out countrywide, and I will answer a previous question you asked, Yusek Pong. I think our local government has very good program on tourism, but what we lack is the national ambition. I think we should stop saying we will reach 5 million or 6 million. Let's target 10 million and work backward and see what has to be done in all of these aspects. And this is what PCCI has been doing. We're working in the background. Tourism cannot grow unless there is an attraction. How is our attraction better than our competitors in Asia and all over the world? How is the connectivity, the airlines, are they affordable, are they convenient, so forth and so on. So PCCI basically work with our 100 chapters all over the country. We work with the local Chamber of Commerce and we work with the local government, and together they create a tourism program to make them the next destination. And that's what I like Secretary's program right now. That's one of her programs, and she's offering, I think, 60 million, I think, in prizes for the best tourism program in the locality. So we are now in sync with the government to create more destinations. And just to give you example, in Cebu, for example, when Cebu was getting only 2 million tourists, we came and we said we will want to target 5 million tourists. And we were able to do it in 5 years. But with that formula, we went to Boracay. Boracay had only 200,000 tourists. We worked with the local government, the Chamber of Commerce, and all the stakeholders, and we brought tourism from 200,000 to 2 million in 3 years. Then it becomes better and better when you work with Bohol, Panglao, or Puerto Princesa first. They usually have only 3 flights a day.